me in an organization that I'm really passionate about. It's called Community Supported Shelters, and it's based here in Eugene. So CSS provides support and shelter services to individuals who are experiencing homelessness. The shelters are cool-looking Conestoga huts that you see behind me. You can see the backs of them here with the little window, and you can see, I'll show you a image in a bit of the front of them that they have a cool little deck and a locking door. And inside of each hut is a bed frame and a mattress. And again, you can see the small little window with these cute little curtains that volunteers from the community make. And there's actually a surprising amount of space in there. So some of you know that last December 20th, I left my job at the University of Oregon after 21 wonderful years of working there. My plan was to take just a couple months off to figure out what was next for me professionally, and then COVID hit. So I still haven't completed that transition that I planned. But one of the huge silver linings of that situation is that I connected with this organization, Community Supported Shelters. I have been seeing around town for several years these Conestoga huts and knew that they were serving as transitional housing for some of our community members. And that, along with a little bit that I knew about community supported shelters, left me really impressed, really curious, and wanting to know more. And so I contacted community supported shelters after I left the university because I wanted to join the hut crew and I wanted to be a part of building these really cool Conestoga huts. And so I did, and they told me to come on down to the CSS shop, and I've been a hut crew volunteer ever since then. So the idea is that these serve as transitional housing for people who are experiencing homelessness, and individuals usually live in the huts for about 10 months, and during that time they get some pretty incredible support services. So at each microsite, we consider this a microsite, so there's 6 huts here, and in the back, you can't really see it from here, but there's a 3-sided shelter that serves as a kitchen. So there's kitchen facilities, there's drinking water, there's a porta potty, and there's a facilitator at each site. And that facilitator supports each of the hut occupants in figuring out their next steps to moving from this temporary shelter to a more permanent shelter. So there's also opportunities to get support in finding employment. One of the really cool things at these sites is most of them have gardens, so there's fruits and vegetables that are growing right there that are used in the kitchens when meals are prepared. There's another site in town that has shower facilities, clothing facilities. There's a nurse there part-time so they can get some of their basic medical needs met. So it's really a pretty amazing program. So there's about 150 huts around the area. Some of them are in church parking lots, a handful of them are in private residents who want to share their space, but the vast majority of them are in safe spots and micro communities like this one. So in these days of COVID, this is a particularly brilliant strategy because not only do people have shelter, but they have their individual space so that they can physically distance from other people. But they're also doing that in the midst of community and getting those support resources that I mentioned earlier. So like so many other nonprofits, community supported shelters lost the opportunity to raise money during their annual fundraising period because of COVID. And so they took a really creative, different route this year, and they're asking supporters of the organization to do some individual fundraising. And so that is what I am doing. So I'm reaching out to all of you to ask you to help me raise a pretty big number. I'm trying to raise $7,000, and those $7,000 are enough to support one hut occupant for 1 year. And that includes not only living in the hut, but all the resources, the food, the porta potty, all the different resources that I mentioned. And in addition, it also covers the support and advocacy of the site facilitator and organizational overhead and fundraising. So it really community-supported shelters. Even if you're not able to do that right now, to support financially, I would really encourage you to click on the link